There's a concept for managing animal welfare and behavior that's called the five freedoms. This is looking at five basic principles. One of them is that they should be free from hunger and thirst. Animals should have plenty and adequate amounts of grass to graze or forage to graze and water to consume, and it's our responsibility to do that. The second freedom has to deal with freedom from discomfort and distress. And most of the time, that's going to be environmental stress factors here in the state of Texas. And it may be snow or ice in the panhandle, where cattle need access to windbreaks and or some kind of cover, whether it be natural cover or man-made shelter for the cattle to get into. It's not always possible, but we strive for that. Also in Texas, we have major concerns about excess heat and prolonged heat and the ability of animals to cool themselves. So providing them access to shade or some way to get into a pond or something to cool off is also recommended to prevent the environmental stress associated with heat. Third freedom that we look toward is the ability to avoid pain, injury, and distress. And this is very difficult to achieve at all times because we do implement painful procedures. But we try to implement animal health practices as well to prevent disease and sickness in cattle, manage the painful procedures the best we can to reduce that stress, but also providing adequate facilities to where most of the injuries that occur to livestock actually occur during the processing of those cattle. So trying to establish good working facilities so we do cut down the risk of injury. The fourth freedom is the ability to express natural behavior. And it doesn't have to be cattle out in open range and free range, but that means the ability to lay down, stretch, rest, groom themselves, and also to express emotion, if you want to call it that, bucking and playing and exercising. That's one of the most solid grounds we have in the beef cattle industry. The fifth and final freedom that we talk about is freedom from stress. Most stressors that are placed on livestock are as a result of human interaction, lack of training, or proper training in livestock. So we can reduce stress by the way we handle cattle, the way we run cattle, the way we transport. All those factors are up to the human aspect and the stockmanship and the husbandry that we employ in management of cattle on a day-to-day basis.